Elevate your style, incorporating vintage finds. In a world where trends come and go in the blink of an eye, there's a certain allure to incorporating vintage finds into your personal style. Whether it's clothing, accessories, or home decor, vintage pieces have the power to add a unique and timeless flair to your look. The blend of history, craftsmanship, and nostalgia that comes with vintage items can elevate your style in ways that modern fashion often cannot. In this article, we'll explore the art of incorporating vintage finds into your wardrobe and living spaces, and how these treasures can enhance your personal style. The allure of vintage. Vintage pieces carry a sense of history and character that can't be replicated by contemporary items. Each vintage find comes with its own story, connecting you to a different era and allowing you to be a part of its narrative. Whether it's a beautifully worn leather jacket, a delicate lace dress, or a charming teacup set, these items have witnessed a different time and bear the marks of their journey. Embracing vintage finds is a way to honor the past and integrate it into your present, creating a style that's uniquely your own. Timeless elegance. One of the remarkable aspects of vintage fashion is its timeless elegance. Styles that were once considered cutting-edge have often evolved into classic staples that continue to captivate us today. Incorporating these pieces into your wardrobe can instantly add a touch of sophistication and refinement. Think of a tailored blazer from the 1950s or a flapper-style dress from the 1920s. These items have endured the test of time, proving that true style is eternal. Curating your vintage collection. Building a vintage collection requires patience, an eye for detail, and a willingness to explore. You might stumble upon treasures in thrift shops, flea markets, or even your own family's attic. Each discovery adds depth and diversity to your collection. When curating your vintage finds, consider the following tips. Number 1. Research. Take the time to research different eras, styles, and designers. Familiarize yourself with the distinguishing features of each era, so you can accurately identify authentic pieces. This knowledge will also help you make informed decisions about which styles resonate with your personal taste. Number 2. Quality over quantity. Vintage pieces have stood the test of time because of their quality craftsmanship. When selecting items, prioritize quality over quantity. Look for well-made garments with sturdy stitching, durable materials, and minimal signs of wear and tear. Number 3. Mix and match. Incorporating vintage finds doesn't mean your entire ensemble needs to be from a bygone era. Blend your vintage pieces with modern basics to create a balanced look. For example, pair a vintage silk scarf with a contemporary blouse and jeans, or match a vintage handbag with a contemporary dress. Number 4. Tailoring is key. Finding vintage pieces that fit perfectly off the rack can be a challenge. Don't hesitate to invest in tailoring to ensure that your vintage finds fit you impeccably. A few alterations can transform a good piece into a great one. Number 5. Accessorize thoughtfully. Accessories are a fantastic way to dip your toes into the world of vintage fashion. A vintage belt, statement necklace, or pair of sunglasses can instantly elevate a modern outfit. These small touches allow you to experiment with different styles without committing to a full vintage look. Decorating with vintage. Incorporating vintage finds into your living spaces is another exciting way to infuse character and charm into your life. From furniture to decor accents, vintage pieces can turn a house into a home with character. Here are some ideas to consider. Number 1. Statement furniture. A vintage furniture piece can become the focal point of a room. Whether it's an intricately carved wooden dresser, a mid-century modern armchair, or a vintage vanity, these items can add a touch of history and uniqueness to your home. Hash number 2, mix of eras. Just as with fashion, mixing different eras in home decor can create a harmonious and eclectic aesthetic. Pair a vintage Persian rug with contemporary furniture or hang a collection of vintage artwork on a wall adorned with sleek, modern shelving. Hash number 3, functional decor. Vintage finds can also serve a practical purpose while adding character. Consider using vintage trunks as coffee tables, antique jars as flower vases, or retro kitchen appliances as decorative pieces in your cooking space. Hash number 4, nostalgic accents. Frame vintage postcards, advertisements, or family photographs to create a gallery wall that tells a story. These nostalgic accents can spark conversations and add a sense of warmth to your home. Hash sustainability and unique style. Incorporating vintage finds into your lifestyle isn't just about aesthetics, it's also a sustainable choice. By giving new life to pre-loved items, you're contributing to reducing the demand for fast fashion and mass production. Vintage pieces have already proven their durability, which means you're investing in items that will likely stand the test of time once again. Moreover, embracing vintage finds allows you to cultivate a style that is entirely your own. In a world where trends often dictate what's fashionable, integrating vintage pieces empowers you to create a look that defies fleeting fads. Your style becomes a reflection of your personality, values, and appreciation for the beauty of the past. Hash in conclusion. Incorporating vintage finds into your wardrobe and living spaces is a journey of discovery, creativity, and self-expression. The allure of vintage lies in its ability to transport us to different eras, connecting us to stories and aesthetics that continue to inspire. By curating a collection of vintage pieces, you're not just elevating your style, you're crafting a lifestyle that celebrates history, sustainability, and individuality. So, whether you're donning a vintage silk scarf or adorning your home with antique accents, remember that vintage isn't just a trend, it's a way of weaving the past into the tapestry of your present. Hash tips for incorporating vintage finds. As you embark on your journey to incorporate vintage finds into your style and living spaces, here are some additional tips to help you navigate the process. Hash number 1, start small. If you're new to the world of vintage, it's a good idea to start with smaller items. Hash number 2, mix textures and materials. One of the exciting aspects of vintage finds is the array of textures and materials they encompass. Experiment with different textures like lace, velvet, silk, and tweed in your clothing choices. In home decor, mix materials such as wood, brass, glass, and porcelain for an eclectic yet cohesive look. Hash number 3, embrace imperfections. Unlike brand new items, vintage pieces often bear signs of wear and tear, which only add to their charm. Embrace these imperfections as part of the item's story. A faded leather jacket or a chipped porcelain teacup carries the memories of its past life and contributes to the overall character of the piece. Hash number 4, be open-minded. When exploring vintage shops, flea markets, or online platforms, keep an open mind. You might come across unexpected treasures that you hadn't considered before. Try on different styles, experiment with mixing eras, and don't be afraid to take risks in your choices.